Hello Internet, and welcome back to my series of film reviews. Last time we covered the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, and now we made it up to the latest attempt at doing Marvel's first family justice, after a certain abomination I refuse to talk about or look at ever again. Today, we're taking a look at the Fantastic Four First Steps. The Fantastic Four First Steps marks the beginning of Phase 6 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it stars the great Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards or Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm or Invisible Woman, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm or Human Torch, and Ebon Moss-Backrack as Ben Grimm or The Thing. This movie takes place in a parallel universe from the main MCU as seen in Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts. And it's in the 1960s. Unlike its three predecessors, it's a retro-futuristic version of the 1960s, and the likes of the classic cartoon The Jetsons. The director of this movie, Matt Shakman, actually directed every episode of WandaVision, so I can sorta see why Marvel Studios opted to have it take place in the 1960s. The decade where Sean Connery became famous for his portrayal of Agent 007, as well as Psycho, Mary Poppins, The Beatles, Adam West Batman, Star Trek, The Sound of Music, To Kill a Mockingbird, Frank Herbert's Dune novels, and so much more. We also have a more comic-accurate look at Galactus, unlike the Taco Bell After Effects as shown in Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, and a different Silver Surfer this time around, Shia LaBeouf, played by Julia Garner. After Fan Fuck Up 4, I had initially given up hope on the Fantastic Four that they would never redeem themselves. That is until Marvel bought the rights to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men from 20th Century Fox.
Suck it, Fox. I'm going to Disneyland. Get fucked!
Could this be the movie that finally breaks the 20-year losing streak for Marvel's first family? Hop aboard and find out as I give my spoiler-free review of the Fantastic Four First Steps. I can happily say that yes, it does indeed end the 20-year losing streak for the Fantastic Four. Unlike the other three films, we actually see them as an honest-to-God family, rather than just a team of superheroes who have absolutely zero chemistry, unlike the 2005 film in Fan Fuck Up 4. And the casting in this film was on point. Unlike what we got with Andrew Neiman, Bootleg Tom Holland, Dollar Store Starlight, and Killmonger. And I love that this film is set in a futuristic version of the 1960s, and the likes of not only the Jetsons, but the Incredibles as well. I felt that it was the perfect setting for a Fantastic Four film that has no modern licensed music, or social media, or anything we've seen from 2005 or Fan Fuck Up 4. This film is set in Earth 828, which is actually a reference to Fantastic Four creator Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28, 1917. And it serves as a great tribute to Jack Kirby and all the work he did for Marvel, like bringing Captain America to life, as well as the X-Men, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four. Oh, if only he were around to see what Marvel has become today. Well, at least the first three phases of the MCU, and not so much phases 4 and 5. This film also introduces a new member to the Fantastic family, Baby Franklin, son of Reed and Sue. So I guess you could say that this new rendition of the Fantastic Four is more like The Incredibles than the other times they were brought to the screen by 20th Century Fox. Except Johnny Storm and Dash do not have the same superpowers. And this movie already establishes the Fantastic Four as heroes of their universe who have been saving the day for 4 years. I mean, they briefly went over how they got their powers, but this doesn't really act as an origin story for our heroes. Pedro Pascal is great in almost every role he's in, be it film or television. We've seen him everywhere at this point. Game of Thrones, The Mandalorian, The Last of Us, Gladiator 2, and Wonder Woman 1984. He was great as Mr. Fantastic, and he might be my favorite actor for Mr. Fantastic besides Ioan Gruffudd. Vanessa Kirby is definitely the best Sue Storm because I really didn't care for Jessica Alba, and don't get me started on Dollar Store Starlight! And Ebon Moss-Backrack. This man deserves all the love and praise. His portrayal of Ben Grimm was absolutely amazing. No disrespect to Michael Chiklis, but all the disrespect to Bootleg Tom Holland. But Ebon Moss-Backrack's portrayal of Ben Grimm showed that he has a heart of gold behind the solid rock that makes up his skin, following the accident that gave the Four their powers. And he's a perfect uncle figure for the family. And Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm already did what Michael B. Jordan failed to do. Make him a snarky jackass like Chris Evans before his Captain America days. And he did a solid job in this role, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in Avengers Doomsday. And speaking of Avengers Doomsday, please stay until the end of the credits, as there's an important teaser for Avengers Doomsday at the end of the movie, yet no connection to the post-credit scene for Thunderbolts. And we are also introduced to Herbie, a robot who assists the Fantastic Four, voiced by the same guy who provided the voice of General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. And he's practically the male version of Rosie the Robot from the Jetsons, a fitting nod to the 1960s setting for this film. And in a blink and you'll miss it cameo, we actually get to see the cast of the unreleased 1994 Fantastic Four film as civilians thanking the Fantastic Four for saving the day. I'm giving the Fantastic Four First Steps an 8 out of 10. This film has broken a 20-year losing streak for Marvel's first family, consisting of an underrated 2005 film, the flawed and forgettable Rise of the Silver Surfer, and then there's the bane of my existence, Fan Fuck Up 4. And after watching this movie, I can finally say good riddance to Fan Fuck Up 4 and bury it.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, oh witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. Wake up, you sleepy head. Rub your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the wicked witch is dead. She's gone where the goblins go. Below, below, below your hole. Wake up and laugh and sing. And ring the bell, now ding dong, the merry o. Sing it high, sing it low. Let them know the wicked witch is dead.
The Fantastic Four are now in the right hands after they were sadly mishandled by Fox in his 20-year losing streak. This is the Fantastic Four movie we've been needing this whole time. The cast all did great, and Galactus was an intimidating threat in the likes of Darkseid from the DC Comics and Thanos, unlike that other Galactus from Rise of the Silver Surfer. And the Silver Surfer in this movie proved to be an intimidating adversary for the Fantastic Four, although she did have some touching moments with Johnny that I won't spoil. I love the futuristic 1960s setting for this film, and I couldn't have pictured a better time period for the Fantastic Four. And after Phase 5 produced flop after flop, aside from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, as well as Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm sure Phase 6 will have a pretty solid lineup of films from Spider-Man Brand New Day, to Avengers Doomsday, to Avengers Secret Wars. And after this movie, I can happily say that future looks bright for the Fantastic Four, and we can finally bury the past and move on from it. Stay tuned for more film reviews coming soon, as well as Sonic and Sonic's review of Superman, or Sonic and Sonic Shorts, A Golden Eagle's Wedding, and more coming soon. Till then, I'll see you all next time.